Freedom doesn't mean that you're on your own now. The night God broke their chains, He didn't just set them free, He claimed them now. They were no longer Egypt's, but they also weren't their own either. They had just walked out of slavery. The chains gone, doors open. So why? Why does God turn them to the wilderness? Because sometimes the longest way is protection. The night of blood on the doorpost had just passed. Egypt was still shaking. Wailing still echoed in the streets. But in the middle of judgment, God spoke again, not with fear, but with ownership. Consecrate to me every firstborn. In other words, the first belongs to me. The first son, the first lamb, the first of your increase. Because when death moved through Egypt, I passed over you. What I spared, I claimed. This was about control. This was about remembrance. God was saying, never forget who covered you. Never forget who kept you alive when death was walking. Every firstborn male from Israel would be set apart. Every firstborn donkey redeemed with a lamb. If not redeemed, it would be broken. Why? Because nothing walks free without a price. And when your son asks you someday, why do we do this? You tell him the story. You tell him about the night the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand. You tell him you were slaves. You tell him you didn't break your own chains. God did. You don't let the next generation grow up comfortable and forget. But then came the march. Pharaoh finally let them go. But God didn't take them the short road through Philistine territory. It was quicker, easier. But He knew them. If they see war, they might change their minds. So God led them around the long way, through the wilderness toward the Red Sea. Let that sink in. The long way was mercy. Sometimes the route feels backwards. Sometimes it feels exposed. But the long way can be protection. They left armed, not weak, organized, tribes together, and Moses carried Joseph's bones with him. 400 years earlier, Joseph had said, God will visit you. When He does, carry my bones out of here. Faith can outline centuries. Joseph died believing. Now Moses, he was walking it out. Then something happened that changes everything. By day, a pillar of cloud. By night, a pillar of fire. Not symbols, not poetry. Presence. God didn't just give them freedom, He gave them Himself. The cloud moved, they moved. The fire burned, they followed. Shade in the heat, light in the dark. He didn't leave. That pillar never departed from the very before the people. Let's get real. Freedom isn't just leaving Egypt. It's learning to follow God in the wilderness. Some of us want the promise without the process. We want the land without the leading. But Exodus 13 shows you something powerful. Rejection is step 1. Consecration is step 2. Guidance is ongoing. The blood saved them. The wilderness shaped them. The presence led them. And here's the part that hits home today. If God brought you out of something, you don't belong to what you left. You belong to the one who covered you. The first belongs to Him. Your strength belongs to Him. Your story belongs to Him. And even if He takes you the long way, even if you see nothing but wilderness